Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon our senior advocate, Mr. S.Silambanan, the Additional Advocate General, to felicitate the young entrants. Sir, please.
Good evening to the young lawyers. Honorable Dr. Justice Anita Suman, Mr. Prabhagar, Mrs. Chitra Sampath, Mr. Mohana Krishnan, Karthikeyan, Mr. Amal Raj, Prabhagaran, Priscilla Pandian, Mr. Saravanan, and Mr. Paul Kanagaraj, and others dignitaries on and off the dais. I congratulate all the new budding lawyers having chosen this profession. The first I want to say is, remember that you are now at the crossroads. You have taken a route to go into a different line altogether. All along, you have been under the protection and guidance of your parents. You were independent of all responsibilities and you had enjoyed your life till now. Now you are in the crossroads where you have decided to take this profession. Now, I like to say, when I was a student in a school and I did my BCom, I used to say the last thing I'll do in my life is to become a lawyer. I didn't want to be a lawyer at all at the beginning. But then the fate, I entered into law. Then I decided, yes, the destiny has decided that I should be a lawyer. Once you have decided to be a lawyer, then, or any profession for that matter, you have to work towards it. No looking back. Once you decided, this is how you have to go, you have to go. So now the first, you have chosen to be a lawyer. All along I said you are the parents. The person who had been most happy to see you as a lawyer is none other than your mother. Thiruvalvar says, ஈன்ற பொழுதிலும் பெரிதுவக்கும் தன் மகனை சான்றோன் என கேட்ட தாய். That is, she would be more happy than when she gave birth to you to see you as a big person recognized by the society. Now once you're a lawyer, your parents have high hopes for you. And thereafter, what is your duty to your parents is, what Thiruvalvar says, தந்தை மகன் காற்றும் உதவி மகன் தந்தை காற்றும் உதவி இவன் தந்தை என்னோற்றான் கொள் என்னும் சொல். That is, the parent, the society should say what the தமிழ்ல சொல்லிடுறேன். I think it should be more easier. இந்த மகனை பெற்றதற்கு இவர் தந்தை என்ன தவம் செய்தாரோ என்று உலகம் சொல்ல வேண்டும். That is the meaning of the proverb. Now that you decided to become a lawyer, you have to first decide what line you like to choose. Whether you want to be a criminal lawyer, civil, corporate. There are so many fields now. Those days we did not have so many specialities. Now you have so many specialities. Initially you have to decide what type of work you like to do, which specialty you like to work. Then choose a senior who according to you will be able to guide you and take you in the profession. Thereafter, as Ms. Chitra Sampath said, you have to work hard. Initially, they used to say in the lawyer's profession, initial years will be all work, no pay. Then they will say it will equal work, equal pay. Then the final stages, when we are seniors, it will be of like no work, all pay. Because that is because all the experience we had, we will be able to sail through. And you will find that the competition is quite high. I wouldn't say it is not there, but the competition is generally on the lower stages. Once you start going to the higher stages, improving yourself, you will find that the competition not so bad. And they always say that there's always room on the top. That is, when you go higher, when you work very hard, it will lead you to a high position. Secondly, when as a lawyer, as Chitra Sampath was saying, you have to work very hard, practice, and thereafter you have to also know the two aspects, either court craft what do you mean by courtcraft is, you must understand the way the court functions, how you should present your case before the court, what is running in the mind of the judge. You must know that. And for example, I just quote a small example. Senior advocate, one Mr. Mohan Kumar Amangal, he was a central minister those days, my father's senior. My father had given a case to him regarding an election matter, and in that matter, they had to cite a judgment where it was a foreign case which stated Islington versus state of UK. There, the word Islington is how it's the correct pronunciation, where in that city near London, they have to pronounce like that. But in India, we generally pronounce it as Islington because the spelling is like that, Islangton. So during the arguments, Mr. Mohan Kumar Amangalam was first initially referring to as Islington versus so-and-so. Later on, the judge was referring to as Islington, and the other side law, senior advocate, was also referring to as Islington. So thereafter, Mr. Mohan Kumar Amangalam corrected himself and said it's Islington versus so-and-so. Then my father had asked him, you know very well the correct pronunciation is only Islington because you have been there to that country or city, but you are pronouncing like this. So he immediately said, look, I'm not here to correct the judges, not to correct the other side, who are all learned people. I'm here to get order from my client. So if I'm going to get an order by saying Islington as Islington, I'll very well do it. And then he also said that nobody would be like to correct it in front of everyone. So it doesn't matter what you're going to say, but what the judge wants and understands. So that is what we say courtcraft. So these are the basic things you must also remember. And one other aspect is, when a litigant comes to you, he trusts you so much. He thinks that almost that you're like a God-sent messenger for him. He believes you blindly. He thinks that you will guide him correctly. And he does not know law. He expects you to know law. He thinks you know everything. So when he comes, you get the particulars, you try to decide which provision of law is suitable, whether it should be filed in a criminal court or whether it is a civil, it is for your lawyer to decide. And thereafter when you file the case, he thinks that you will win it for him. Remember, he will not definitely doubt your competence if you are very sincere, whether you win the case or lose the case. And they will be very, very sincere. Like when we go to a doctor, we believe that the doctor will definitely know the subject, he's treating us properly. Even when he is operating on you, you go for the operation because you think the doctor, you believe in the doctor. If you have doubt whether he will perform the operation properly, you will not go to him. Like that, a client believes a lawyer. For example, in one of my cases, a client from Ooty, I had no contact in Ooty whatsoever. He came to me by accident, and when he gave the case, he said, "Sir, I don't have any money." And he just gave the filing expenses. I said, fine. I argued the case. I won the case. Then he went. And thereafter, since he did not have money, he said, I have to compensate you somehow. So you have done so much for me. And he said he used to write letters saying, you're like God and all. So I said to him, don't write like that. Then he sent me 4 or 5 cases from Ooty because he trusted and because I won a case for him. There are the clients, most of them will definitely come back to you if they find that you're very sincere. And so you have to work hard for this. And once you have chosen this profession, as the speaker said, that you decide and you work hard, you will go to the heights, and whether you choose a politics or you choose judiciary or otherwise, you will shine. And as Mrs. Santakumari was saying, we need more women, all these things. I will just place it here that recently there was a case filed by a group of persons saying in the government selection, more seats have been given to women, and That should not be there. In fact, more seats have been given to women, and men had challenged it, saying that so many seats should not have gone as per the rules. So the stage has come where men are fighting for the seats which are getting more occupied by women. So I think women are having more chance, and you will be adorning the bench also more than 50%, I'm sure. And I wish you all the best. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Our Advocate General, Additional Advocate General, crisply mentioned the nuances of the